What up, guys? Spotter here with some Destiny, and this video is going to be about some possible future user interface changes for Destiny, and it was based on a thread that was put together by a fellow named Anrock1 over on Reddit. So all credit goes to Anrock1 for these ideas and putting them together and actually putting them into images and showing them how they would work in the user face for Destiny, basically making things easier for us that play this game every single day. Okay, so we're going to start looking at them, starting with some changes for when you're in the tower if you're looking to team up with other players. And I know Bungie has already stated they're already looking at ways for in-game communication, like voice communication. But this is a good idea. If you bring up your nav mode when you're in the tower, you could have these options for the D-pad. So if you're looking for a raid fire team, if you're looking for the weekly strike, nightfall strike fire team, or the weekly heroic, or the daily, even the daily heroic, then you can have these options. And then what it would do, when you're running around the tower, it would show your status to other people, like looking for a raid fire team or looking for the weekly heroic fire team, etc. Because there's no matchmaking in any of those things, right? You only have matchmaking in the Vanguard Strike playlist. You don't have matchmaking for the two weeklies that are sort of on the bottom left of your map. So yeah, it would let other people know, and then other people could inspect you and join your fire team or ask you to join theirs, etc. So this next image is basically a short form of that, showing a symbol instead of that long line of text, because it can get, especially if there are a bunch of people, it can sort of fill up your screen with a bunch of text that you may or may not want to see, right? So this is the symbol, and you can actually inspect them, and you have different symbols for what they're looking for, depending. You can inspect them and then find out exactly what they're looking for. And this is what it would look like from your perspective, showing your status that you are currently looking for a raid fire team or a group of players to join up on you to attack the Vault of Glass, right? So, pretty good idea. I know there are all kinds of forum topics over on Bungie's website for people looking for fire teams, etc., for the various activities in Destiny that don't have matchmaking. So, yeah, not bad. Decent. You just hang around the tower and find yourself a fire team. So the next one has to do with the grimoire. And if you've ever been on the website, Bungie's website, and logged in your profile and gone in to look at your grimoire, or do have the companion app, I mean, this is actually bringing all that grimoire into the game. And I think it should be there. I mean, I really don't like having to go outside the game and looking on the website and looking up all this stuff. Bring it into the menus. Bring it in, you go into options, you go into your menus, you have your roster, character, inventory, grimoire, right? And you should be able to click on all this stuff and see everything that you can see on the website within the game. So it's just bringing all that information, and there's a lot of detailed information in the grimoire cards, right? You look at weapons, you look at enemies, you look at everything, classes, etc. And there's a lot of background, and there's a lot of stat tracking as well, because you get bonuses. If you get a certain number of kills with hand cannons, you're going to start to get bonuses where your XP builds faster, or you get more XP when you use a particular weapon, just because you've gotten a certain level of kills with that weapon. So pretty good idea on that end as well. Next one we're looking at here is voting capability for the Vanguard Strike playlist. So you go into level 24, the strike, and you get teamed up with two other players, and maybe you get to pick between 1 or 2 or 3 strikes to be the one that you're going to play, or you complete one and, okay, well, let's keep playing. Let's play another strike. And I don't know how often anybody has actually experienced where you've gotten in there and people have played more than one strike. I think I've only ever played one. I've never played 2 in a row. But still, have a vote option to select the next strike. And the same goes for Crucible, right? I mean, Crucible just selects the next map for you, and away you go. I mean, a lot of first-person shooters these days do have the option for voting. A lot of them. So why not bring that to Destiny? Should be fairly simple to do. Well, I don't know from a programming end, because I think Deej has actually commented on this thread over on the Bungie website and said there's a lot of programming involved, obviously, but still, hey, programming to make things better, to make your game better, make it easier to use, and give it more flexibility, more options for the players is never a bad thing. This next one is when you're down on one of the planetary bodies, whether it be one of the planets or the moon, and you bring up your ghost. Well, I mean, this is the one that I love the most. Adding the option to go directly to the tower. I don't want to go to orbit. I just want to go directly to the tower, okay? Do not pass go. Do not collect $100, $200. You go right to jail. Instead, we're going right to the tower. Because the loading times in this game are kind of, I don't know. And I know it's worse. I actually hear it's worse on PS3 and Xbox 360 as compared to PS4 and Xbox One. But the loading times, you know, when you're going to the tower, you have these loading, and then, you know, or going to orbit, sorry, you have the loading, and then you're in your orbit, then you got to select your destination, go to the tower, blah, 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 and then you got to wait another 30 seconds before it actually sends your ship to the tower, and then you got to wait for the ship to get to the tower, and then you spawn in the tower, right? So I definitely like that, and also showing your progress and bounties. I know you can go to the options and then hit R1, but, you know, bring up the ghost and show your current bounties and progress. That would be kind of cool. But definitely that go directly to the tower one is the one I would like the most. This is another one that is built off the website, adding in an advisors tab in your options and showing your rank reputation for the various, you know, vanguards, whether you're going for New Monarchy, Dead Orbit, or the Future War Cult, your Vanguard, your Crucible marks, your Cryptarch level. I mean, that's all pretty good information. It's all in one spot in advisors, and I think some of this is actually shown in the advisors tab on Bungie.net, their website, right? I like bringing this in, and there are also bonuses, and I'm not sure if he covered off bonuses here. Now, this is the second image showing the entirety of all the vanguards, etc. And you could even include when the Queen's Wrath is there or the Iron Banner. You can even include that in there. I'd like to also see the bonuses. If you go on the website, there are bonuses that you can get, again, for achieving a certain number of kills with a certain weapon, etc., or against a certain enemy. There are bonuses that you can get, and it also shows you the status of bonuses that are upcoming. So that would be interesting, and that would be nice to have in-game as opposed to having two separate things, the website and in-game, and you just have to, you know, go back and forth between the two to figure out what your next bonus is. All right, the rest of the ideas are actually in-game. Now, this one, you know, when you're ranking up to level 20, you have this XP bar that fills up the bottom of the screen. Then once you get to rank 20, it goes away, right? Because the light level is not based on XP or ranking up. It's based on your gear. However, you do get motes of light when you rank up. It's like you get from level 19 to 20, but then there's XP. I don't know how much it is, and I think there is a status bar that it shows you when you go into your options, but every X amount of XP, you get a mote of light. It's like you're leveling up, but you're not really. You're not going to level 21, 22, but you're getting that mote of light for attaining the next level XP-wise. So that was an option, and you can possibly turn it off, or adding the ability to turn it off because maybe people don't want to see that once they get to level 20. But it would give you an indication on screen on your user interface without going into your options of how much or how far you have to go in order to get your next mode of light. The next three images have to do with ammo synthesis, and Anrock1 makes a good point in the thread in that if you're on PS3 or Xbox 360 in particular, and it still is a bit of a pain when you're on PS4 and Xbox One, but more so because of the loading times, and it makes it almost impossible to do, especially if you're in mid-battle or in the Vault of Glass, is using ammo synthesis. So what he's showing here is if you're ADSing with a certain weapon, let's say it's a primary or it's a special or it's a heavy, when you're ADSing, you could use the D-pad to actually use an ammo synth if available, okay? And, you know, you can hold it down. It shows, you know, it could pop up a progress bar or whatever, similar to how it's shown when you go into your inventory and actually hit square on it. You have to hold it down in order to use it. That would be the same concept here. And there can also be a cooldown bar that it shows you in the user interface, so that you know, okay, I don't have ammo synth available until that cooldown hits, and I think it's like 5 minutes or something like that for the actual cooldown. But it would be nice to do, and I've wanted to do that as well, instead of going into your menu options, hitting R1, and then scrolling over to the ammo synth that you want, hitting, holding down square, and then backing out of the menus, and you're getting attacked, etc. You should be able to use that a little bit more easily, and I think it would be fantastic if it was more accessible while you're in game, while you're in battle. You don't have to go into your menus to do it. It's just ADS, one button, hold, and then your ammo synth has been applied. Fantastic idea for that. And this last one is an idea for a quick weapon change. So let's say you have a primary and you're using an auto rifle. You want to switch to a scout rifle that's in your inventory instead of going into your options, etc. Again, mid-battle, possibly providing the option to do something with the D-pad, possibly, and just quick switching to another weapon of the class that you currently have equipped or holding in your hand at the time. So I don't know how feasible this one is. It doesn't take that long to switch weapons if you go into your if you go into your options in your inventory. But another pretty nice idea. And I love the fact, I know there's a lot of whining and complaining about stuff, and oftentimes you see on a lot of these threads, especially on Bungie's website, but also on Reddit, where people are complaining and not really coming up with solutions, not coming up with things that can be done to make things better, just complaining about things. I love the fact that that Amrock 1 came up with this and looking at things that could, incrementally improve the game. We're not looking at, this isn't rocket science. This isn't completely changing the way things work with Destiny. It's looking at minor incremental changes that are going to help improve the game on a long-term basis, right? So I do like a lot of these ideas. Again, I'm going to put the link in the description to the Reddit posting. All credit goes to Anrock1 over there on Reddit. And please go take a look and show your support, as well as on Bungie's website. It's one of the trending forum topics right now. So what do you guys think? Any other things that you guys would like to see added to Destiny from a user interface perspective to make things easier for the player? Please leave a comment below the video, and we'll see what happens. And maybe this will make it onto Bungie's website and into Destiny 2.0. Who knows? That's it for now, guys. I'm Spider, and I'm out.